today we're going to be dissecting Final Fantasy XVI's newest trailer, Ambition. If you've come here to see a reaction, you've already missed it, it's in my previous video, feel free to go click off this and watch that if you want. Let's start with the beginning of the trailer, and there is a book. Now, this probably means absolutely nothing, but there is a V and W at the top of the book. However, inside the book, none of the text is legible. Underneath, it does look like a little bit of a sword, but I don't think it is. Now, the first district that we come across, this looks like where Leviathan could possibly live. And I'm saying that because the structure in the background has very similar curves and edges to Leviathan. The next scene we get to is just Clive roaming through a desert.
Further now.
But we're in the middle of the Deadlands.
The blight sucked this place dry. Meaning no trees, no birds, and no magic.
Darkness spreads as day gives way to twilight.
And as you can see, they're talking about the blight that's taken over the desert, which may not have been a desert originally, and it cuts straight to this place, which we can assume the blight is fully taken over. Then pages of the book turn, and as you can see close up, they're not legible. I think that this long word here might say something along the lines of Mothercrystal or Hydaelyn. I'm saying Hydaelyn just because Yoshi P directed Final Fantasy XIV, but I have a feeling it probably says Mothercrystal.
We cannot live without the blessing of the crystals.
Next we can see that Josh is talking to somebody who may or may not be his mentor. I have a feeling it's probably his mentor, and on that note, I understand they're wearing red because that's their flag colours. However, it's very, very, very reminiscent of a red mage outfit. And while I'm on that note, the only other character we've seen so far has been Clive, and he is very reminiscent of a warrior from Final Fantasy XIV, so I'll put a little comparison here as well. Now we have all the flags and their corresponding regions. You can't tell me that this flag does not have the phoenix in it, because that is the symbol of the phoenix.
The Grand Duchy of Rosaria, bastion of tradition.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath.
On the website, it does say that Sambrique does home Bahamut, and I think you can see Bahamut on this flag. Although it is double Bahamut, but it just looks like a drake to me. It doesn't really look like Bahamut, but that could be their interpretation of Bahamut. But above him, you can see a female form, and I've got a gut feeling that is probably Shiva due to the colour scheme.
Holy Empire of Sanbreque, where ambition is divine.
You might not notice it at first glance, but there are 3 people in this section of the trailer. On the left you have the new character from the website, Dion. In the middle, I think he might be a king or Jill's father. And on the right, I assume it is a young person, as their feet don't quite touch the floor and they are kicking them around quite a bit. However, I can't match these boots up with anybody that has been in the trailer so far, so I feel like they've left this a mystery on purpose. I feel like this is one of the more interesting flags in the game. We know that Titan hails from here, however, there seems to be a few elementals around a suit of armour. I'm assuming that suit of armour is Titan, however, I have never seen Titan wear any sort of armour before, and I feel like it could represent the army rather than an actual icon.
The Dalmekian Republic, whose fortunes shift with the desert sands.
And what of our wise rulers? Goaded into war without any thought as to what chaos it might wreak.
According to the website, the Iron Kingdom does not like icons or dominance. However, when I look at the flag, I just see Ifrit, and I could be completely wrong. I understand there are axes there being like no dominance, no icons, but the fire in the middle, or the crystal in the middle, screams Ifrit in my opinion.
Kingdom forged in faith and fear.
Their souls were sullied with the stain of ether. I merely cleansed them of their corruption.
Now this flag is a little bit impossible to miss. There's a sword, a shield, and a horse. That's Odin. Odin lives here.
Or the kingdom of Waloed, indomitable in its isolation.
The dark swallows more of the realm with each passing day.
And as we have a full shot of Dirtblander, our warrior of light, I mean, this new character, we can see that his armor looks very, very similar to either a Dark Knight or a Paladin, but it's a wrong color scheme to be a Paladin, so I have a gut feeling this guy is going to be tough to beat if we have to fight him. And back to the book, and I'm pretty sure that the book is just prophesizing everything that's going to happen and what has happened and what is happening. Now I could be completely wrong, but during this part it's before the jump skip. And that's Clive. The scale from his chin to his nose matches up with Clive's. Which in my opinion would make complete sense why Ifrit is appearing from where Clive was just standing.
To fall upon the dominants, painting their destinies black as night.
In this scene you can clearly see that Josh is turned into Phoenix, and in my opinion Clive has just turned into Ifrit. In this next scene we have an unnamed person turning into an icon. Now if you've played any other Final Fantasy before, most of the time that Ramuh shows up there's a burnt tree and loads of flying electricity, usually purple, so I've got a feeling this guy is turning into the icon Ramuh. Then we have Hugo, who's turning into Titan. Then we have Jill being captured by the Iron Kingdom, and I only know that they're the Iron Kingdom because they're all carrying axes, which is very symbolic of their flag. So this scene intrigues me because it does look like it could be Clive and he's been infected maybe from using the Icon's powers. I'm saying that because it looks like he's with the Traveller from the beginning. However, if you take a closer look at his sleeve, that is a symbol of Sambrique. I love these next few scenes. I feel like Square is trying to tell you that if you hold on to an icon for too long, you'll either become stone or petrified, or you'll lose your mind and go a bit crazy.
Leave us to die when our bodies are spent.
I'll crush him! Flay him!
So first of all we have Benedicta turning into Garuda and then fighting Clive. We've got Jill turning into Shiva and then laying waste to the Iron Kingdom. Then we have Benedicta fighting whoever holds the icon of Ramuh. Then we have Clive fighting Hugo. Next we have the actual combat screen. So on the top left, using L2, it looks like you can scroll through Garuda, Ramuh and Phoenix. I assume that you don't turn into those icons, but you're able to use their abilities like Deadly Embrace and Arrow. Then on the top right hand side you've got the enemy's HP bar and MP bar or ability bar. I'm not sure if they're still using MP. And the bottom left you have different items that you'd be able to use.
It is you who shall bow to me!
Very well. Come then. Show us the strength of your will.
This is the most controversial part of the trailer because there are so many arguments happening online, so I'm just going to give my opinion. And before I start, just to let you know, all the icons do have a golden halo above their heads. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. So first of all we have Odin. Now it's clearly Odin from the horse and the cape. He has this in every iteration of Final Fantasy. Then we have Titan. He is bigger than all the other icons and he is clearly made out of very strong materials. He's quite bulky. Then we have Bahamut, and you can tell from his silhouette that he is a dragon. He has a long tail and wings, and you can't mistake him for anything else. In the middle we have Shiva, and yes, it definitely is Shiva because she is blue. And to the left of Shiva we have Garuda, who is green, and you can tell that it's Garuda from the massive wings and talon-like feet. Then to the right of Garuda we have Ramuh, and you can tell it's him from his staff or sphere with his grey white hair and beard. And then all the way to the right hand side we have Leviathan. He is quite hard to see depending on what version you're looking at, but he's definitely there. You can see him wrapped around. Now at the top we do have Ifrit and Phoenix. Now, they don't have halos around their head, but if you look to the bottom of the screen, you can see that there are 2 halos at the bottom with a pointer pointing towards Ifrit and Phoenix. Now, in my opinion, this could mean that they are both as one and they've connected, or it could mean something's going to happen to these 2, and I think we just gotta wait and find out. However, there is one last thing I'd like to mention, is that there is an additional halo almost in the center of this page. Does that mean that all of these icons are connected under one icon? Does it mean they combine to make a new icon, or does it mean that there is something lurking? There are still a few icons that don't have assigned dominance yet. I do have a gut feeling that I might know who's assigned to what, like Leviathan, Bahamut, Odin, but I'm not going to get into that today on this trailer. I will be figuring it out as they release more information, and I'll be posting it on Twitter. So if you have any ideas who the icon at the top of the screen is, it's definitely Ifrit and Phoenix, by the way. Let me know down below, especially if I've missed any details. Thank you so much for watching and have a great weekend.